have a sponsor for this class. Her name is, you'll see her up there, is Alexandria Olaga. And Alex is with Prosper Insurance. And we're so happy to have you, Alex. And would you like to say a few words to us?
I would. I wanted to wish everybody a happy new year and hope everybody's year is off to a great start. I just wanted to also give Kevin some kudos. He's an awesome person, family man, and he's an excellent businessman as well. He is one of our best partners, and I'm excited to be able to sponsor his class today. Now, Prosper Insurance is an independent agency, which means that we offer multiple options for your clients. We represent several companies, and we are known for our amazing customer service. We have over 800 five-star reviews. But real quick story I want to tell is somebody called us at the 9th hour. The premium was 3 times what we quoted. We got them to closing on time. Everybody was happy. The realtor was happy. The loan officer was happy. The client was happy, which is the most important. And we get it done at Prosper Insurance. So thank you again for having me. And Kevin, thank you for allowing me and Rita to be a sponsor today.
Thank you, Alex. We're very happy to see you today. So,
everybody, thanks for joining. This is our first Wednesdays at War class for 2021. And yes, we're doing our Wednesdays at War this week on a Friday. It was tough getting on the schedule for a Wednesday and tough getting on the schedule, period. But we wanted to get this class in as early as possible for 2021 because it is creating your 2021 vision and goals. So we're going to start this year off right with some planning. Studies show that people who write out their plans are without a doubt more successful than those that don't. And we don't need to write an 11-page plan. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to do something short. We're going to keep it simple and manageable. We're going to work on a 1-page, kind of a summary of vision plan, something we can put on paper, something we can reference regularly, because if we do sit down and come up with an 11-page plan, we're not going to look at it. Maybe we'll glance at page 1 when we walk by it, but it's just not realistic for folks to use and implement consistently. And today, it's not just about setting goals. Goals are important, but we're going to make some plans on how to get there, things we can implement on a day-to-day basis. You know, when I do my classes and when I do even my own planning and implementing of strategies, I'm not into the rah-rah stuff. You know, I don't like just the fluff. I like the meat and potatoes, the things that can be implemented. And today we're going to give you some tools where you can sit down, you can plan things out, and actually create something of value. And today we're not going to talk about just living within your means. You know, when we're doing our planning and creating a vision, that's what we call it, a vision, not just a plan. It's more about being in the mindset of what do you want your life to look like? Are you okay with just being okay? Are you okay with just living in your means and here's what I need? Or do you want some freedom in your life? Is it financial freedom? Is it personal freedom? Like, hey, I'm tired of running on the hamster wheel with no real direction. I'm working a lot of hours. I'm taking a lot of time away from my family, and I'm not getting the results that I need, that I expect. So what do you want your life to look like? And what do you need to make it happen? Those are the things that we're going to map out. So I'm glad that you're all here today with me and that we're going to go on this journey together. Nothing we do today is a silver bullet. You still have to step up and do the work. You still have to have the commitment to yourself and to your family and to others. But today is the first step, creating that vision and goals. And the handouts that Rita sent are pretty important. They go hand in hand with what we're doing in our class today. So please make sure that you're keeping those handy. And if you're driving, as I saw some folks are, then you can catch up with those later, but be sure to go back and revisit those. And today is going to be in two parts. The first part is really hammering out that vision in writing, putting our 2021 vision and goals in writing. If you stick it out to that first half and get busy with your day, that's awesome. The second half is going to be drilling down a bit more on what some of those activities can and should look like. So when we gave the class description, we talked about creating the vision and goals, but also discussing, as it says here, how to get more traffic, higher conversions, follow-up plans, social media, all the business building topics. So that's part 2. So we're going to start out. I've got a little video clip here that's fun for those of us in my age group. I'm sure we remember this movie from City Slickers. We talked about creating your vision, and it's about coming up with what's important to you. So we'll share this real quick.
No, what? This, your finger? One thing, just one thing. That's great, but what's the one thing? That's what you've got to figure out.
Well, there we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but what we're going to talk about today is figuring out kind of our one main thing. But really, we're going to do more like 5 things is going to be our goal. But it's all going to come down to understanding what it is that we want. And we're going to start first and foremost with a brain dump. And this is probably one of the most important parts of all of this process. It all starts with just getting everything that's in your head out of your head. We all know that all day, all night, things and ideas are coming and going. There's all kinds of great things we want to do personally and professionally. So the brain dump starts with just getting in a quiet place, turning everything off. No electronics, no cell phone, no nothing, just old-fashioned paper and pen. You can even do big boards on the wall, something of that nature. And just sit and write out everything in your brain, everything that you've thought about, everything you want to do professionally, every idea you've had, everything you want to do personally. It can be work related, such as, hey, I want to do this many closings. I want to have, this many listing appointments. I want to set up a CRM, a customer relationship management program. I want to do such and such on social media. It can be personal things. I want to spend more time with my kids. I want to do, 3 things a week with my kids. I want to do a weekly date with my spouse. I need to change the oil in my Jeep, whatever it is. And set a timer. This is like a 20-minute process, and use the whole 20 minutes, but 20 minutes should be enough. The first 10 minutes is usually pretty easy. You can sit and jot down all kinds of stuff for 10 minutes. It's the second 10 minutes that is where the really good stuff comes out. The stuff that you're kind of digging beneath the surface, that's the true value in that time. And 20 minutes, we can all carve out 20 minutes and go to a quiet place and do that. Once you're done this, trust me, you get almost a relief. It's like an immediate after you've cleaned out your brain. Like a good example, if I give you a phone number to remember, hey, my cell phone 757-645-8996. If you're just thinking about that number, you can probably remember it for a little bit. But then if I say, hey, remember that, and then I give you a math test, even if it's just, hey, think what's 9 times 9, what's 6 plus 6, what's 8 times 7, if you're starting to do a couple other numbers in there, it becomes almost impossible to remember that phone number that I asked you to remember. So your brain gets so much stuff in there. When you can get it out on paper, it frees your mind to become creative. Once you get that out, that is really valuable information. Save that pad, save that those notes in a very safe place. Then you have no fears of losing what you had in your head and released it. Then your head can relax, your mind can relax. You have it all in writing, but make a copy. take a picture of it, save it on your phone, make a copy of it and keep it on your desk at work. So you're going to have a concise vision and goal, but this dump is just a whole bunch of other stuff that maybe, hey, I have an extra half an hour today sitting on my desk. Oh yeah, that was on my brain dump. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that today. And that really helps clean things up and gives you some minor wins, but also gives you the basis for creating your true vision and goals. So next, you have this as a handout. It's your vision and goals worksheet. So if you are at your computer, you can go ahead and open this up and take a look, and it will be kind of your basis that we are working on filling out. Start on the top right with your word of the year. So this kind of goes along with your one thing. What is my one thing? Let's try to get that into one word, our word of the year. So mine is growth. That's why I put that one on there. So my plans are all about growth, growth in my volume, growth in my business, growth on our team here. But what's yours? Is it freedom? Do you need some freedom from your business? Do you need some financial freedom? Maybe your word is implement. Maybe you have lots of great ideas, but you're struggling on implementation. So you're going to pick your power word, look at your brain dump, see kind of what theme that you had on there, and you can come up with your one word of the year. Once we have that word, we're going to work on our top 5 business goals. As you can see on that vision worksheet, we have 5. Now, you may be planning on doing 20 things in 2021, or heck, we'll say 21 things in 2021. But this vision sheet is the most important top 5 business goals. And let's not even call them goals. Let's call them something more important than that. Yeah, you can have 21 goals. These top 5, that's going to be your promise, your vow, your oath, your commitment. And it's a promise to yourself, but also to your family, to your spouse. Hey, these are the things that I'm going to do for the success of our family, the success of our relationship, or even for your team. You know, if you work with a team, your commitment is to them as well. So of these 5 things, we also want to make sure to make them attainable. We've all heard of SMART goals. We'll talk about that a little bit as we go, but they need to be reasonable and attainable. So for example, if you closed 10 transactions this year, closing 70 next year, probably a bit of a stretch. So they have to be realistic and attainable. So you may accomplish a lot more, but these things to you are the 5 most important. They're going to move the needle the most in your business and in your life. And you start with your one thing. And as you see here, there's some ideas. Maybe it's close X number of transactions. Maybe it's get X number of new referral partners. Referral partners, we'll talk about some of the ideas in the second half, but you know, people who could consistently send you business. Hire some staff, build a team. Maybe it's even starting with tracking your numbers. You know, knowing your numbers, measuring your numbers, conversion rates is important to know where you are, what you need to do on a daily basis to get where you want to be. And if you haven't been tracking them, maybe that's an important first goal. One of the things most important to my business is software, and in particular, my CRM, my customer relationship management program. We'll talk about that a little bit as we go forward. If you don't have one of those, add it, get it going. Maybe it's change companies. Maybe the company where you're working right now isn't the best fit for who you are and where you want to be. I made a change in companies just about a year ago, almost exactly. And it was, because the company I used to work for got sold and the new company that purchased it just wasn't a good fit. And I found someplace that is the perfect fit and has allowed me to thrive. But maybe changing companies also means changing partners. You know, maybe the mortgage company or the title company or the insurance company that you're working with isn't someone that's helping you build and grow your business. And I can personally attest for Alex, our sponsor today, she is all about helping her partners grow their business. So maybe finding some partners such as that can help you get to a better place in your business. Maybe one of your business goals is to get certified in something, certified as a buyer's agent, certified in whatever it may be. Maybe it's to start your path to become a broker. Whatever your top 5 business goals are, you will have way more success and a better chance of meeting and exceeding them if we get them on paper. So your 5 most important things are going to be right there on that left side column. With business comes personal promises. Our goals aren't just about money. Maybe it's freedom from money, so you don't have to worry about money anymore. Maybe it's some freedom for work. We talked about that. Freedom is a big part of my mindset. I am in a group called the Freedom Club. It's for our mortgage world, but it's all about getting freedom from those types of things, earning financial freedom, getting freedom to spend time with your family, learning how to structure your business, creating vision and goals. And family goals are important. And the family side, you should do this together. Do a brain dump with your spouse, with your family, whoever is your significant person in your life. Ideas of having uninterrupted time with your family, going on vacations on the regular, whatever it is, coming up with your personal promises to yourself are critical. Do you have a bucket list? If not, why not? You'd be surprised. Some of the things that maybe I want to do that, maybe I don't. If you write it down and put it on a list, it's funny how things, once they're written down and you have clarity on what you want, it's amazing how often they happen. All right, so we're going to come up with our 5. You've done your brain dump. From that, you've sat down and spent some time and come up with your 5 most important things. Then we're going to start to break it down. So quarter by quarter, we're going to look at the top 3 things in each quarter that are going to support our big goals. These are the strategies that help build our top 5, and we're going to have check-ins along the way. So this is all the supportive stuff from our brain dump. It's more the activities to get us to the goals than the goals themselves. And we'll dig into a lot of these concepts more in the second half of the class today, as we chatted about. So for now, we're going to fill out our quarterly goals, get clarity, and know that we can always make adjustments later. So you're sitting here thinking, hey, fourth quarter, that's a long ways away. I'm not quite sure how things are going to look. Well, we don't have to be perfect right now. We're going to go with what we think and what we expect, and we can always adjust. So let's look at 2020. When we did our planning in December of 2019 or January of 2020, guess what? We didn't anticipate a pandemic, and we're all doing business a little bit differently than we would have based on the plans that we came up with. So we do have some flexibility, but let's say your goal is to sign 2 new listings each month. What activities do you need to get that? What are the strategies I need to implement? Do we need to hire an assistant? Are there new technologies that I need? So one of the most important things here, and one of the things that I live and breathe by, is the Daily Success Plan. We'll cover that a little bit and what that means. But you're looking at strategies such as social media, working your database, video marketing, open houses, teaching classes. Maybe you want to start teaching classes to first-time home buyers. Referrals from current listings. We call that the Just Ask campaign, getting referrals from folks that you're already working with. So there's all kinds of strategies that you can implement, but you've got to actually do something. You've got to work on and implement something. So these are just some ideas of your quarterly goals and activities that you can add in. Then to break it down even further, you have to know your numbers. We talked about this as one of the potential top 5 things if you're not already doing it. It's key to know all of your numbers, all of your statistics to make sure that you're doing what you need to do every day to meet your goals. So if you see your vision sheet there, if you look at the top right, it's got some fill in the blank boxes there where you can put in your stats from last year, from 2020. And if you're not sure with your numbers, don't feel bad. Most people don't know their numbers. They don't know where they are, and they really don't know what they need to do every day to have the results they want. The only real way to do this is to track your numbers, your conversion percentages, and see where you need to be. So we start with, okay, how many transactions do I want to close in 2021? So say you want to close 20 total transactions, listings, buyers, etc. So from that, how many listings or buyers do I need? So that you would need to know your conversion percentages. So from what you consider is a solid listing person or buying person, what percentage of those actually close and purchase? Is it 75%? Is it 50%? Is it 90%? And when you see those percentages, sometimes you can get an idea of where you need to do work. For example, the previous one, or the next one, but it's previous in the process. How many leads do I need to get my listing and buyer clients in the previous line? So if it takes you 5 leads to get 1 listing or buyer client, and you need 25 of them to get 20 transactions, you can do the math and see how many leads you need for the year. Then you can figure out how many you need for the week and how many every single day. Then your next statistic, how many phone calls do I need to make to get that number of leads? So if you need to make 13 calls to get 5 leads, to get your 25 prospects, to get your 20 closings, then guess what? You know what you need to do every single day. You need to make 13 phone calls. If I make my 13 phone calls, I'm going to hit my goals for the year. If it's income-based, take a look at your comp plan. Put those numbers in on the vision sheet. We put that in there. So if you're not looking at number of transactions, you're saying, hey, I want to make 100,000. Hey, I want to make 300,000. Whatever it is, you put those numbers in. The numbers don't lie. But you have to be honest with yourself, but you also have to track your numbers. So that's something you can start doing right now if you're not doing it already. And I'll share my numbers. I know my numbers. So this is just purchase side. In the mortgage world, we are going crazy with refinances right now as well. But consistently, personally, just myself, I want to close 10 purchase closings per month. Every year, all the time. That is a good baseline for my personal business. For that, I know I need 15 committed clients. So by committed, that means, they've completed the application, they've given me their supporting paperwork, they have their approval, they're working with the realtor, they're out house hunting. Not everybody's going to end up buying. 2020, especially, numbers were a little bit off because there just wasn't inventory. So I still have folks who've been looking for 6 months and haven't found something. Or some folks just said, I'm going to wait till spring. Maybe there's going to be some more inventory out there. We all know that's a struggle right now. But to get my 15 committed clients, I'm going to need 2 just basic pre-approvals sent out for each committed client. So if I send out a pre-approval, usually at least half of them become committed to the process. I need 1.5 applications to get each pre-approval, purchase applications. So not everybody qualifies. And I work with a lot of folks. I get referred to and by a lot of folks that have some credit problems and issues because I do actually take the time to help them as well. Not everybody is ready, but we give them information and a path to get ready. So, about 1.5 of my folks end up getting pre-approved. And I know that to get 1.5 applications consistently per day, I need 13 hellos a day. So I just need to say, hey, the 13 people per day, and I will get my 1.5 purchase applications every single day. It's the numbers. And when you track it, you'll see it works, and you'll see the days that you don't pick up the phone and do what you need to do. You're not going to get the applications, and then you're not going to get the pre-approvals, and then it's going to impact your overall production. So knowing your numbers is absolutely critical to any and all of this. Next, let's talk about, in our daily schedule, some of the absolute non-negotiables. And you're going to think about this when you're going through and doing your 2021 vision and goals. So some of the things that could be your rocks in your schedule, your musts, the things that you have to be committed to meet your goals. Some of them could be that DSP, the Daily Success Plan. We're going to share that on the next screen. And it's just really an outline for what you're going to do every day and every week. Again, this gets customized to you. I'm just going to show you an example. It's making phone calls. Like it or not, in real estate, we are salespeople. As a realtor, you're a salesperson. As a mortgage person, you're a salesperson. If you've been doing it for 20 years and you just sit back and your phone rings, that's great. Good for you. I can sit back and have my phone ring, but that's not good enough for me. And because you're on the call today about creating your vision and goals and your plan, I'm betting it's not good enough for you either. So picking up the phone and talking to people is probably the most important thing, the most effective thing, and the cheapest thing we can each do. You know, maybe it's meetings, face-to-face meetings, listing appointments, whatever types of meetings that help you build your business. Maybe it's mailers, not junk, something good. Maybe it's video. So you need to create the musts that you are willing and able to do. So if you are absolutely, positively against video and being on video and sharing videos of yourself, and some people are, then don't make that one of your non-negotiables. It's really not as bad as you think. Don't overjudge yourself. We have an entire class on video marketing that is available on the WAR YouTube site. And one of the things we stress in the class is keep it simple and don't be overly critical. You're the only one being critical of yourself. No one else is watching it and judging it. I do videos all the time, yet I refuse to watch myself on the videos because I'm my own biggest critic. And it's funny, last night we were sitting as a family and watching something on TV, and my kids were on YouTube, and I mentioned something about YouTube and me being on the WAR YouTube channel, having my own YouTube channel. My kids are like, "What? You do?" And they searched for it and pulled it up and started to play videos. I was like, "Nope, I'm out. I don't want to watch myself." And just keeping in mind that while you're self-conscious, you're coming off way better than you think. So video is a great way to build business, especially right now where we're losing a lot of the face-to-face options and opportunities. So let's talk about your daily success plan. So as you're working on your 2021 vision and goal worksheet, we also should be working on a daily success plan to help us achieve those bigger, loftier goals. So here's where we put our non-negotiables. Here's where we put our daily and weekly activities that are important to achieving the bigger goals. And we're gonna block time out for them. We're gonna make these things the most important thing of our day. For those of you who did the time blocking class, we talked about time blocking, the value of making time for the things that are critical for growing and developing your business, really for selling and marketing, and your value during that time. So the daily success plan here gives you things to do during that hour or two that you have every day that is focused on building your business. And if you are currently not doing anything consistently, if you're not making calls every day, if you're not consistently marketing, let's be realistic. We don't expect you to immediately get on the phone and make phone calls for 2 hours a day. If you say that, you maybe will trudge through it the first day, and then you're just not going to do it again. So if you're not doing anything now, maybe start with, for the first month, 15 minutes a day, and then just stop. If you're doing 15 minutes a day consistently and you haven't been before, you're going to start to see a huge difference in your business. And then add 15 minutes every month until you get to 2 hours a day. We never ask for more than 2 hours a day of focused sales time building your business. I bet very few of us on this call do that. I bet if you look around your colleagues, very few of them do that. The only ones that consistently market and sell are the ones that are your top producers, and you can be there. It's just a matter of doing the things every day that get you there. And you personally don't have to do everything on this list. You can delegate tasks. You don't have to send the mailers. You don't have to do the handwritten note cards. That's one of the things on here, is sending out X number of handwritten note cards per day. They have a huge impact. It's super personal. But guess what? Your clients aren't going to look at that and be like, hey, wait, that's not Rita's handwriting. I know Rita's handwriting. She didn't write that. That's never going to happen. Handwritten note cards, we do them consistently here at my office. And sure, I do some, but my assistant does most of them, if not all of them in a lot of cases. And nobody's going to look at that and be like, hey, wait, that's not Kevin's handwriting. They're just going to know that they got reached out to with a personal note in a time where we don't have a lot of personal touches. Things have been different in the last 8 months or so. This analogy, say you're a dairy farmer. Guess what? There's one thing you have to do every single day to be successful. You got to get up and you got to milk your cows. You can't skip a day without milking the cows. You got to do that every day of the week, maybe twice on Sunday. I don't know anything about cows, but I do know that if you have a dairy farm, you got to milk them every single day. So this is your milking the cows time. Doing every single day, tracking your progress. And this is also where you learn your numbers. When I do this, here's what I get. And as we said, let's be realistic. Set realistic daily expectations for yourself and ramp them up. So you all have a copy of this as an Excel spreadsheet. Rita sent it around as part of the attachments for the class today. So I sent it as an Excel spreadsheet so you can make adjustments to it. And you can see on here, you have your personal health, starting with something every single day. You have your business health. Probably in all of this, the most important thing is your success calls. And I have examples broken out per day. So say on Monday, you're calling a certain group. On Tuesday, you're calling a certain group. Tuesday here, we have referral partners. So that could be title company, mortgage people, insurance people. Maybe it's divorce attorneys. From what I understand, divorce attorneys have a lot of clients right now and a lot of opportunities for you to get listings and potential buyers. So as part of your strategies, who are good referral partners that you should be calling? Giving referrals every day, giving referrals to mortgage people, insurance people, giving referrals to financial planners. You're working with high net worth clients moving to the area, put them in touch with a financial planner. That financial planner is going to remember that. They're going to feed you back in return. So we have a lot of this DSP in some of the previous classes, so we're not going to go through every single bit of this. But this is an amazing tool and one that I use in my business all the time. Next, here's kind of a loose schedule to follow in your day, in your week. This is loose, but to have some freedom in your life, maybe Monday to Thursday, work that daily success plan consistently. Make sure that you are firing with all cylinders. Maybe Friday, you quit at lunchtime. Enjoy the end of your Friday. Take some time go get a massage, do something for yourself. It's kind of your reward. If you've worked hard all day, then you're giving yourself a bonus. You're giving yourself some freedom. Then maybe you work towards not working at all Friday. You've earned that. If you consistently work 2 hours every day, purely selling and building your business, you've earned your free time. When you've done all your important activities all week, you can take Friday off guilt-free. It can be and maybe it's Fridays you don't want to just take off, but maybe you're just taking a break from selling that day. You're working on something else within your business. You're doing something to let your mind relax a bit. And every day, like, I feel so much different every single day when I leave for the day. If I've spent my 2 hours, I usually do it from 9 to 11 a.m. so that it is consistent and it's the first thing in the morning. Again, we get all this in the time blocking class. I feel so much better about my day and what I've accomplished than if I miss that. If I get into email and get lost in email for hours, if I get lost in anything for hours, it is absolutely a completely different mindset than if I've accomplished that. So if you want to review that time blocking class, all you have to do is hit Kevin Onozuk YouTube time blocking, Google search that, and it comes up. I showed you a little sample here, but that's a great class to go back and review, and it can make an absolutely life-changing difference in your business. That and the database classes are the two most critical ones. Also, in your vision, in your brain dump, plan things to stop doing. There are things every day we do in our business that are, just, they suck up our time. Maybe it's emails. We can all get into email and lose hours. Maybe it's answering phones. Maybe you have an assistant or an answering service or something to answer your phones for you instead of always being tied to it. You do want someone to answer that call. You want someone to be there, but it doesn't always have to be you. Anything that can be delegated effectively should be delegated effectively, because your hourly rate when you're doing things to sell and build your business is exceptionally high if you're using it well. So again, knowing my numbers, I know my hourly rate. I know, assuming about how many hours I typically work per week, I made last year about, and this is a little crazy, last year was a really good year, I made about $240 an hour. If you think about the time that I spent just selling, like purely my 2 hours a day, that quadruples. And that's really where the money is. All the other stuff, answering emails, working things in the pipeline, calling people back, those aren't money-making activities. So you're going to find your priority items, the things you need to do for your business, your one thing, your 5 things that you put in your vision. We're going to focus on those. We're going to start there. We're going to add to those, but then stop doing other things that get in the way, that take our time. And maybe it's even just taking time that you could spend relaxing, doing something that you love, spending time with friends, family, whoever it may be. We have a thing called the acts of freedom. So we're axing things off of our schedule to create freedom in our lives. So all of the things that you should be doing, you can balance things by stop doing things and start with just one. Just pick one thing. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to give it to somebody else to do. Next, all of this needs to be written down. You have your vision sheet. Work on it. Use it. Write everything down. You have your brain dump to start from. You have your daily success plan. I've sent you all kinds of good tools to use. Well, Rita has. So these are things that if you take the time to do them, it will infinitely impact your success. Neuroscientists and studies found that people who write down their goals are way more likely to accomplish them. Writing them down encodes them into your brain. then share them with somebody. Don't just keep this to yourself. Have someone help you be successful. Find an accountability partner, another realtor, someone you work with, a close friend. Get a coach, hire a coach. I have a coach. I pay a lot of money for a coach who is a superstar, and he is my accountability person. I have calls and check-ins with him on a regular basis, and it is time for honesty, time to go over numbers, see where I'm going, and if I actually did what I was supposed to do. And I don't want to get on that call and say, yeah, I didn't do what I was supposed to do last week. And just a quick review of SMART goals. We've all heard this. We've all been through goal setting and such. Your specific goals, they need to be real numbers with real deadlines. Don't just say, hey, I want to close more transactions. They need to be measurable. Make sure your goal is trackable. Don't hide behind buzzwords like, brand engagement or social media influencer or something of that nature. Your goals need to be achievable or attainable. Work toward a goal that is challenging, but still attainable. And don't try to take over the world in one night. Like I said, start with, for your sales time, start with 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, and build. Look at your quarterly to build to your yearly. Realistic, be honest with yourself, know what you're capable of, what you're willing to do and not do. Don't set a goal or an expectation for yourself that that you're going to hate it, because you're probably not going to do it. When I talk to folks about marketing and sales and business development, I would say you got to do something. You got to do something to grow your business, and you have to do it consistently. But it's got to be something you'll like doing. It can't be something you hate, or you're not going to do it, or you're not going to do it with enthusiasm. You're not going to do it well. So don't forget the hurdles you have to overcome within yourself and external hurdles that could be in your way. And your goals need to be timely or time bound. That's why we have yearly goals. That's why we break it out into quarters. That's why we have the daily success plan to give yourself deadlines. Don't push toward a goal of someday. So we're going to start to wrap up the first section, and we're doing pretty good on time. The first section has been about creating your written vision plan, vision and goals for 2021, knowing your numbers, breaking it down quarterly, then breaking it down into a daily success plan of things that you need to do each and every day. And we've given some references to some past classes that could be helpful. From what we've talked about so far, probably the two most important would be time blocking. And then, of course, my favorite class and most important, I think, in our world is database. And we'll cover that a little bit more. So now we're going to switch gears and start part two. So right above the part two, if you recognize that, then you're probably close to my age group. I'll be turning 50 in April, which I don't know how that happened, but that is a manual transmission. So I tossed that in there for switching gears. I actually still have a manual transmission. I drive a Jeep that's a stick. And my daughter, my first daughter, when I bought her a car, I bought her a manual transmission that she still has and drives, and all of my kids are learning how to drive it. So that's just kind of a little old school shout out there. But the second part is how to stay on top of your game in 2021. We are in unprecedented times right now. We've all been through a lot in the past, 8 months, I guess. For some of us, 2020 was an exceptional year. Try to get anyone to do any work on your house right now. I'm trying to get gutters on my house. I've been waiting 6 months because they are so behind, so booked up. Anybody home related is killing it right now because people are sitting around home and are like, I'm here more now. Let's do something. Let's fix it up. Can't do anything else. Can't go anywhere else. Let's make home inviting, which, as an aside, is a great opportunity for all of us. Home has become more important than ever. Home is what people are thinking about. Home is where people are saying, hey, maybe I need some more space. Maybe I need some more room. Maybe I need a different backyard. So it's an opportunity for listing and sales. For some of us, 2020 was challenging. 2020 brought a lot of obstacles and a lot of hurt to a lot of people. So as we jump into 2021, it's gonna be some time before we get back to normalcy. We all know the vaccine rollout is coming slowly but surely, but they're saying we're looking at summer, maybe fall at best, we get back to some sort of normalcy. So part 2 of our class today digs into the fundamentals of the simple things we can do every day to build our business. These same fundamentals apply to anyone in sales. Things are a bit different now in everybody's world, but a lot of it was coming anyway. A lot of the technology shift was coming anyway. It just got here a lot faster. So this second part, we're going to move through pretty quickly because everything we cover here, we've covered in past classes. And we'll reference all of those when we're done, but these are the basics that we can all be doing. So if you join the class today just for writing out your vision and goals, you can hop off and catch this later or go through the handouts or what have you. But for those who want to hang on, we're going to go through some really good information of what you can and should be doing for the strategies to build your business every single day to make 2021 absolutely amazing. And it definitely can be. So in a crisis, what we've seen over the last year is 3 types of people emerge. And this is so easy to see. You have first, the people that choose to fight. They're the people that rise up. They know things will be better coming out of it than going into it. They put on their war paint, they get to work. They see this as, oh my goodness, this is tough, but I'm tougher. This is an opportunity for me. That's only about 10% of people. And that 10% will thrive no matter what. The vast majority of people, probably about 70%, they just turn into Bambi. They become that deer in the headlights. I'll just wait it out and see what happens. Nothing I can do about it. These people let the world tell them what will happen versus taking control of their life. We don't want to be that. None of us want to be that. We want to be in control. We want to grow. We're not going to just say, well, I'll ride it out. Things will get better. Sure, things will get better. Sure, we are going to get back to some normalcy at some point. But for those of us who want to be the best that we can be, we want to be those 10%ers. And the 20%, they're just going to flee. They'll leave the industry. They'll run away. They have no reserves. They have no financial cushion. They don't have the resolve to stick it out. If you're on this call today, you're definitely not in that group. So we're not really going to spend a lot of time in there. But just know you're going to see some people that will leave if they haven't already. So let's get back into daily planning. I live by the daily plan because it's the most important part of creating your goals. If you make big goals, you're not going to get there without doing things consistently every single day. So these are the basics to help you not just survive 2021, but to thrive in 2021. And the first thing to do is have your plan. So you have your vision/plan we created. We have the tools to come up with our daily, weekly plan in writing. We know that we need to do it in block time. So this is some ideas to help really dig down on your daily plan. It's trying to drum up business, not waiting for the phone to ring. It's having our plan, always knowing what we should be doing, how many calls to make, how many notes to send. So here's some things you should be asking yourself. How many people are you going to call every day? How many handwritten notes? How many face-to-face meetings? Face-to-face meetings, who does those now? guess what? People still do face-to-face meetings. Find out who's a good referral partner for you, your insurance agent, your divorce attorney, whoever, and go get a cup of coffee. Just be smart about it. Wear your mask. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, do it electronically. Everyone is going electronic. Rita and I were talking before we got started about interacting with family electronically. We're seeing family via FaceTime instead of in person. You can do that with business relationships as well. Referral partners, past clients, whatever it may be. And in fact, being virtual opens up a lot more possibilities. You're no longer limited to the 23188, 23185 zip code, whatever your home base is. You can do transactions in Richmond. You can do transactions in Farmville virtually. When we embrace technology, it opens up a lot more opportunities for us. Here's a question. How do you prospect? How will you prospect? What are you going to do? Is it social media? Is it radio? Is it working on your database? How you're getting your leads, how you're following up, how are you planning your day? Those are important questions every day. Getting back to, are you truly milking your cows every day? You got to milk the cows first thing every day for your dairy farm to work. And you spending money on leads. I know agents that spend a lot of money on leads that are incredibly successful. I know agents that spend a lot of money on leads that are not. Leads work, but you have to be on them like green on a pickle. Leads work if you call quickly, if you follow up consistently, and that doesn't mean just putting them on an email follow-up system, because we all know we ignore all of that. All of us do. We get so much junk email. It's just that. It's junk. It's spam. It's stuff we don't read. Part 2 is your database. We have an entire class on this called Farming Your Database for Referrals. It is the #1 most important thing in my business, and it should be the #1 most important thing in your business. So you have to ask yourself, are you marketing to your database on a regular and consistent basis? People love getting something of value. People love hearing from you, especially now. Getting something of value, we talked about emails. We all get junk emails, but there's emails that people love. Let's take a look at Groupon. I don't know if it's as much of a big thing as it used to be, but when you get 50 emails a day, guess what? You might click on that Groupon because it's interesting. There's something of value in there. And maybe you don't need 4 emails a day from Groupon. Maybe you want 1 a week, whatever it is. But guess what? If it's something of value, you're going to open it and read it. So don't just send a bunch of junk. And we talk about that on our Facebook and social media advertising class about providing value, providing something of interest. On here, we start with NAR, National Association of Realtor Statistics. I'm sure we've all heard this. The average person moves about once every 7 years. So our goal in working our database, #1, is to stay top of mind with those people. #2, we'll be asking for referrals. We'll kind of touch on that later. But let's just say we just want to keep those people. The Association of Realtors did a survey post-closing, and 74% of people surveyed said, oh my gosh, I loved my realtor. He or she was fantastic. I would love to work with them again. I am a client for life. But then when they went back to those same 7 people years later, 7+ years later, only 24% of them went back and used their same realtor again. And you know why? They lost touch. They didn't hear from them. So if you have a database of people and you just do some basics to stay in touch with them, you're going to have a lifetime of clients. And that doesn't even count the people that they know and will refer you to. when you ask them right after closing, oh yeah, I'm going to tell everybody I know how great so-and-so was as my realtor. Well, guess what? In 3 months, they're neck deep in their life. And sure, they still think you were great, but you're just not top of mind with them. So working your database is about staying top of mind. Let's think about some real numbers. Based on those percentages I just gave you, let's say you have 100 people in your database. That's reasonable, especially if you've been doing real estate for a little bit. And even if it's not past closed clients, you know 100 people. You can put 100 people into your database. You're missing 50 people who said they do business with you again. And they basically just forgot about you when they were ready to do something. The 74% that said, oh yeah, I'd use them again, the 24% that actually did, you're losing 50%. So that's 50 people, really almost per year, that you are losing opportunities on. In my world, as I said, my database is my #1 source of business. I love realtor referrals. I kick butt for my realtors. The #1 buyer agent in WMLS last year in 2020 was my partner. And I am proud to say that I worked hard with her as a partner to help make her #1 in buyer transactions in 2020. But my business, more than anything, comes from my database. Farming your database is my favorite class I give. It's one I always recommend. The things that are critical is calling them on their home purchase anniversary, sending out a handwritten note card. So on their 1-year anniversary every year, so year 1, year 2, year 3, I call them. The 6 months, we do a handwritten note card and we toss a lottery ticket in there just for fun. We do 2 to 3 just general mailers per year. You know, we try to make it a little interesting. We try to change it up a little. Mailers, you know, some get open, some don't, but we keep it as a definite part of our strategy. I am all about video messaging on their birthdays. That's critical. We got a couple of these on the next slide. Then try to do 1 or 2 additional calls per year, just of interest, things to call about, checking in. I love social media targeting. Once you're in my database as a past client, prospect, even realtor, Facebook and Instagram, I'm going to show up in your feed probably more than you want to see me. Emails, sure, we do them. Everybody you talk to probably gets on your email follow-up system for years and years and years. But honestly, emails are the least effective because, you know, it's overkill. Like anything else, only if it's something of value. If you're emailing, hey, here's all the houses that sold in your neighborhood last year, maybe that's interesting. They can pull it up and look at. Or hey, here's a car show this weekend. They have free somethings, you know, something, you know, that it not just, hey, here's a canned email with recipes that you can probably get online. In marketing to your database, people are missing one-on-one communication. People are missing that personal touch. So some of the things on here are about making it personal, sending personalized messages, the handwritten note cards. On their birthday, wish them a happy birthday. I go, you know, I try to friend everybody on Facebook, and when their birthdays come up, we post a happy birthday cake message. And by we, it's actually my assistant. I'm not actually doing it. She goes into my Facebook and does it. That's just a little kind of behind the curtains secret. But I also send them a video text message. If you're in my realtor database and I have your birthday, then you're going to get a video message on your birthday. If you are a past client, I definitely have your birthday. So I'm sending you a text with a personalized recording where I say your name and wish you a very happy birthday, and maybe throw in something personal. Making things personal right now during the pandemic make a huge difference. Send them your personal birthday and anniversary wishes. Pick up the phone and call them. I challenge everybody on our call today to do this. Do a video and send it out. Even better if you personalize it. Just record it on your cell phone and text it. The more special you make people feel, the deeper that relationship is and the more referrals you're going to get. I'm often told I'm the only one that ever sends out a personalized video message on their birthday. People love it. I get great feedback, and I honestly love doing it because these are people I got to know, people I got to work with, people I got to help buy their home, and I love catching up with them. And honestly, they love hearing from me. And if you haven't talked to them in 3 years, who cares? No big deal. They're not going to be like, why haven't you texted me or called me on my birthday 2 years ago? No, they're just going to be excited to hear from you. And are you marketing on Facebook? Are you doing custom audiences and sending things targeted at your past clients? We have a whole class on that. Are you sending private messages? Just shoot them a private message. Are you doing interesting posts every day? There's a lot of social media strategies to catch those who are active on social media and stay top of mind. Technology, we're going to go through these pretty quickly. You can dig into these on your own or look at, again, some of the past classes where we've covered this, but Zoom is important. Zoom doesn't have to be perfect. You're a real person. With your video marketing, with Zoom, with anything, people know you're real. You're going to have tech problems like we've had a couple of issues today. It is what it is. People know, people understand, they know they're working with a real person. If you need help making phone calls faster, use Slide Broadcast or Phone Burner. There's ways that you can send voicemails directly to their voicemail without having them answer the phone. There's programs where you can have it dial through your database super fast for you, kind of whatever technology you're looking for. You've got BombBomb. BombBomb allows you to send your personalized videos or bulk videos out to folks. You've got SmartPrompt, a teleprompter to use when doing videos for video marketing. This one here, the most important thing to me by far is your CRM. That's your customer relationship management system. It allows you to send out emails, hopefully something of value, but most importantly, it keeps everything organized, all your past clients, addresses, phone numbers. It allows you to take notes to remember things about them, things about their kids, things about the transaction. And mine, I use as my basis for follow-ups. I set what we call workflows in, where it's a combination of sending out some emails and such, but more importantly, it triggers tasks for me to call and follow up. So whether it's a lead where, hey, this is just somebody that may have interest, and then I can set it up whether they're a 30-day, a 60-day, or a 1 year, they're going to be buying in the next year, and it gives me triggers to check in with them. That's how I do my follow-up. Past clients, same thing. It goes in and gives me triggers to follow up. It gives me reminders and tasks so that I am consistently reaching out. That is the most important thing. Here's some examples of CRMs you can use. Maybe your company has one. What's the best one? There isn't a best one. You can look at a few, see which one you like. The best customer relationship management software program is the one that you'll actually use, the one you feel comfortable with, and the one you'll actually do something with. With the CRM, it changes your business. It's the norm for most people not to follow up. Don't be the norm. I track statistics. I'm all about it. I know what in 2020, all of the agents did. Now for me, it's buyer side. I don't really track the listing side. I'm going to know who the top producing buyer agents were. I know who they are, and I know that those people are active. They are hustlers. They do these things to be successful. We're going to branch off just a little bit as we're wrapping things up. We're on the home stretch here. We're going to talk about keeping our mind in shape. Right now, during the pandemic, we get a lot of negative news. In the political world, we get a lot of negative news. We go on social media. There's so much negativity. Commit to being the light. Don't be a part of the panic. Being the light could be the best thing that ever happened to you in your business. While everybody else is obsessing with the negative, just stop watching the news. Stop obsessing. Be positive. Be a leader. People are thinking about home and comforts of home now more than ever. So that's an incredible opportunity for those of us who are willing to be leaders. We did the class, Real Estate Survival Guide, Doing Business in the Pandemic. It talked all about this. That was another great class about how to be different, how to be the one that steps up to the plate, leads, solves problems. So think about that before every phone call, before every interaction, and most importantly, before you put anything on social media. Don't be the negative person. Be the light. Give people hope. Give people good news. People like that, and people will remember. And live by your calendar. When life is out of control, guess what? You can control your calendar, and this will ultimately save you time and help you be more effective in using your time. Next, get up and show up. We don't all go to the office these days. I still come in here every single day, but even if you're at home, dress like it's a normal work day. Don't just sit there in your pajamas all day. Make yourself look good and feel good. Do a morning routine, exercise, meditate, do some yoga, whatever. Read something inspirational or motivational to start your day. Take that class you've been wanting to take. Get your mind in a positive shape. And when you get your body doing the things to get your mind in a positive shape, your mind will follow. And make everybody around you do this. Create the mindset with your team, with your coworkers, with your family. Keeping your mind in shape is critical to thriving, not just surviving. We talked about financial freedom. Always take a minute to reevaluate your expenses. What do you really need? What do you have coming out on autopay that you're not even paying attention to? As a realtor friend of mine down on the peninsula, he sat down and did that and looked at all of his auto draft stuff. He found it was ridiculous. He found I think about $600 a month in stuff that he had just signed up for and put on autopay that he didn't need and didn't use, and just canceled all of it. Talk about a pay raise. That is a little thing that you can spend some time doing. We all hear, hey, call your cable company every year and renegotiate. But take a look at your expenses. What do you really need? And what do you really want? And save 25% of everything you make. That's advice I got years ago. And sure, it hurts a little bit at first, but it makes a huge difference in your life, your financial freedom, and not having to worry all the time. And I sent you a sheet in the email with handouts about taking a look at your expenses. There's an expense worksheet for realtors there. So something else you can just kind of have as a tool to work on when you get a couple extra minutes. And as we wrap up, also keeping your mind in shape, some things we have to do right now, more importantly than ever, work well with others, work well with our teammates, work well with our clients. Who talked a lot about that, but we have to work well with other realtors. And that's the advantage of having WAR. We get to know each other. We can collaborate, we can serve on a committee together, get to know each other, so that when we have a situation where my buyer is making an offer and there's 5 other offers, we know how to negotiate and talk to that listing agent and selling agent. Pick up the phone and call a random realtor that you worked with 3 months ago. See how they're doing. Maybe it's 3 years ago, or somebody that you always saw at socials and haven't seen for a while. Check on them, see how they're doing. Make sure you're well-trained, make sure your team is well-trained, and give people grace. A lot of people are having a hard time. A lot of people are stressed. Have a little grace and love for each other. Treat our business every day like it's ours. And it's one of the most important things in our lives, because it does help us achieve that financial freedom. So last meat and potato slide here, and this is probably one of the most important ones, is accountability. Accountability is key to following your plan. Maybe it's even key to creating your plan. Maybe you're going to leave this call and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. But then in a few days, you've forgotten about it. Find a partner, find a coach. I'll help you out. Review your business plan with them. Did you make your calls today? Did you write your notes today? These are questions that you can have your partner do, your accountability partner, or just ask yourself. Be honest with yourself. Write it down in your daily success plan. That's where their box is there, so you can actually write down what you did. For a while, I actually had a stopwatch around my neck, and I would start it when I did activities that were business building, when I was making phone calls, when I was being proactive, and then I stopped it the minute I got into emails or whatever. So I could track how much time every day I was effectively building my business. Did you create your video today? Did you post on Facebook today? What did you post? What did you do today to build your business, to follow your daily success plan, your quarterly goals, and your yearly goals? Accountability and someone to hold your feet to the fire, it's one of the biggest things that you can bring to your business. Like I said, I have a coach. One of the first things I did coming into 2021 is creating my vision and goals. And I reviewed it with my coach, and he basically said, nope. He rejected my figures, my closing goals. Oops. And I said, and he boosted them up. He boosted all of them at least 25%. So having that person to not only hold you accountable, but to push you to where you really could be, that can make a big difference in surviving versus thriving. So in wrapping up, I am always around if you have questions, if you have help, if you want me to take a look at your vision and goal sheet once you have it created or any of it. If you want us to check in and have some accountability sessions, I am happy to do that for you or with you. And a couple other last things here. We have some additional resources available. The previous classes that are available on the WAR website, they're on the WAR YouTube channel and on my personal YouTube channel, but you can get in and rewatch time blocking, farming your database, Facebook branding. That's all about branding yourself on Facebook and social media. What message are you sending? Facebook ads, past database referral partners. That's about running actual ads on Facebook and targeting them to your database and referral partners. A complete guide to Instagram marketing. A real estate survival guide is all about doing business in the pandemic. Video marketing is how to grow your business using video. That one's a lot of fun. And then the charisma edge. Hey, I'm going to do some videos. I'm going to do some talks, classes, etc. How to have charisma, how to be persuasive. So just hop on to YouTube, search Kevin Onazuk and maybe the name of the class, or just search Kevin Onazuk on YouTube. They'll all show up. Or you can go on to the WAR YouTube channel. They're all there too. So that's all I've got for today. Rita, any questions, any comments, anything that I can help anybody out with? Amazing 2021, and it is absolutely yours for the taking.